So my evaluation binder starts off with some reference material that I thought would be helpful for me while studying for the exam, and then will continue to be helpful when I study for the NBCOT. So here is the OTPF summarized, the occupational profile template, and an activity analysis form. These are going to be great references for me. And then my binder has all of the completed Roman discussion sheets, all of the assessments, which include the weekly lab sheets, the manuals, additional information, assessment score sheets, and research article talking about either the procedure or the psychometric properties regarding specific assessments. So here are all the Roman worksheets that have been a useful tool in gaining kind of a summarized explanation and understanding of the Roman chapters, which I really enjoyed. Then I've categorized the assessments that focused on occupational performance and leisure, etc., individually that we learned last semester. So firstly is the COPM. It starts off with the lab sheet, the manual, additional information, and a score sheet. And then lastly, this article talks about how the study to understand how the COPM can be used as an outcome measure in primary care, and kind of to identify the occupational performance profile in primary care. It talks about how it's a valuable tool to guide initial assessment and can offer occupation focused lens. The next assessment is the ACS. I had the same material, the lab sheet, score sheet, manual provided, and then an article that talks about how the reproducibility of the ACS in a Dutch sample of older rehabilitation subjects, although it talks about how this assessment is biased towards men. Next is the role checklist. I have the same information available, and then I have this study that assesses a person's involvement in internalized roles at the level of both occupational participation and occupational performance. So that was a good study. Then the EFPT, same information, and then an article that talks about how the EFPT demonstrates sensitivity to executive function deficits in brain tumor patients. That short article there. And then the CELS, I have the lab sheet, the manual, the same information, and then a study. The study assessed the favorability of the newest edition of CELS by clinicians. It found that the response to the new edition was positive, with comments often indicating the respondents' appreciation of or enthusiasm of new edition. Then is the FIMS measure. Have all the information available, and then a short article that talks about the rating scale of FIMS with patients with acquired brain injury. And then I have the motor assessments, which are grouped together, and then I have the lab sheets, the manual, and a short article describing the validity or psychometrics, and also the procedures. So here is a comparison that I did of all of the motor assessments for my exam. And then I have cognition, the MOCA lab sheet, the manual, and then the score sheet, and then a short study that talks about the applicability and performance in stroke patients. And then I have the screening assessment. And then lastly, I have the environment assessment, the CEFR, and the lab sheets provided, the manual, and then an article that talks about factor analysis and constructability of the CEFR assessment. All right. That concludes my evaluation binder video. Thank you.